Okay, this is a video on how to set up Rank Math SEO. So Personal SEO teaches how to set up Rank Math and why we tend to like that better than Yoast and All-in-One SEO or SEO Presser. Um, if you have Rank Math or Startle, have not done this, we're going to start with the setup wizard. If you've already gone through the setup wizard, it's just a good way to make sure everything's installed. So if you click on Rank Math, go to dashboard. After you're logged into the back end of WordPress, you can go to the setup wizard, and this will automatically take you to the Rank Math page. Now, there is a screen before this that you can't see, which forces you to create an account. And I have an account and I use like 50 sites with this, so just one account's fine. I do see they're coming out with a pro version. I hope they don't mess with the version they have now to make you pay for the pro stuff, because a lot of the stuff that Rank Math does, Yoast and All-in-One SEO charges for. So if you click advanced and then start the wizard, you can go easy if you want, but I just tend to go for advanced. And so fill out the form. Small business site. This is where you would click on and find your logo. I think this is the logo right here. So then you would just select the logo, use this on the file. Default social sharing. So if social media cannot grab a image, it will automatically pull this image in off of the page. So that's why we add those, and then we hit save and continue. So you're going to notice me correct some things as well. Okay, so Google Search Console. So the next thing, what I would suggest you doing is creating an account in Google Search Console. When you create the account, it'll have you verify it as well. This is kind of an order thing. So when you create an account with Google Search Console, it wants you to verify it. However, you can't verify it unless you do all of Rank Math. So it's kind of a weird chicken before the egg. They don't have a real clear of when to do this. Again, but you can kind of do it at any time. So create the account in Google Search Console and also create your analytics account at the same time, because you might as well. Authorize the account, which will connect it automatically to Google Search Console, and therefore it'll transfer data back and forth so that you don't have to go to Google Search Console ever. You could just go to the back end of WordPress and see what your Google Search Console results are. That's a lot. Okay, so the next thing is sitemaps. So yes, you want to have sitemaps. Yes, you want to include images in the sitemaps. And this is a perfect opportunity here to talk about builders, Divi, Beaver Builder, Elementor here. If you have a website that uses a builder, make sure you uncheck those boxes, and then just check posts and pages. I usually leave categories empty, and the reason being is because most of the time when people have a category of a website, they don't actually have content on that page. They just have post after, like a blog roll, post after post after post, and so there isn't really any new content on there. So I don't want to have duplicate content, so I most of the time will make sure categories is not indexed. So save and continue. The next thing, no index on empty category and tag archives. Great. I'm not going to index categories or tags anyway, so I'm going to leave this. No follow external links. So this is bad. Do not turn this on. Google is looking for external links, and it's looking to follow them. So always leave this off. On external links, always add the target link, meaning that when you're linking to, for example, Wikipedia, because it makes sense in your article, that will automatically open in a new tab rather than taking the person from your website. Okay, save and next. I never auto update, and I never show the score. I just kind of find that funny. So advanced options, role manager. Most of the time, I'm going to tell you to just turn this off. However, if you are an administrator of a website, obviously you want all of this. If you have editors, then you want to take some things away from editors. But again, if you were doing SEO, I'd kind of want them to have titles and meta settings. I want them to be able to do an SEO option. I also want them to be able to do redirects. So this is based on the people and staff that you have employed or the people working on your website. Again, for most single use small businesses, just turn it off, because you're either paying for a company like Personal SEO to do your SEO management, and we will turn this off because we're administrators and we always log in as an administrator, so it's not that big of a deal. If you have a bunch of writing staff, then yes, you would want to adjust the roles. Save and continue. The next thing is 404. I want to know what pages are giving errors so that I could fix them. The other thing that I really like about this, and Yoast does the same thing, but you have to pay for it, in this free version you don't, is that when you change a URL, it will automatically create the 301 redirect for you. This is important when you are reorganizing an entire website. It takes the step of creating the a redirect page and adding it into a different plugin. It kind of does it all in once. So turn that on. Save it and continue. Schema. So another thing Yoast charges for, which Rank Math doesn't, is schema markup. So again, pages are articles, and they are posts, are articles and blog posts. Pages are articles and articles. So just make sure that that's set up correctly. And again, none for any template of the builder. We're not doing anything with the builder. They're not search engine friendly, so they're not going to be indexed. So save and continue. Okay, and then this brings you back to the dashboard of Rank Math. And so again, everything, you just can kind of look and see what's turned on. Okay, there's the 404 monitor. You can adjust the settings, images, image SEO. So you should be adding an alt text every single time you add it to a add alt text to an image every single time you add it to a page or post. But that takes a lot of discipline, and sometimes you're going to miss it. So what it will do is it will make the file name the alt tag, which is a problem if you don't name your files correctly. So that's an issue. So in the future, name your files correctly. And then the same thing with the title tag. Now, this is up to you to turn it on or off. This can and will mess up with the accessibility of the website. So when you have a screen reader, it's going to read the title because you can't read a picture. It's going to read the title, and if the title is something wrong, then that's going to be an issue as well. So we just turn that off, missing title. We force the title. Technically, I would also force you to do the alt attribute. But since, say that this is a brand new site and I don't know any of the alt attributes real number in the future. Let's save changes there. Breadcrumbs, you want to have breadcrumbs in the site. So you can either enable the breadcrumbs here, or more than likely you're going to fight with the theme to where the breadcrumbs are. So under appearance and themes, you have the theme here, and inside of these settings will probably be breadcrumbs or a way to add breadcrumbs. I have found that if you Google how to add breadcrumbs to Astra, which is the name of this theme that they're using, there is usually an answer on how to do that. If you want to use the Rank Math breadcrumbs, then you would use the shortcode or edit your template to include that. So I'm just going to leave that off for now. Editing the robot text allows you to put the sitemap inside the robot text, HTTP access, Search Console, and redirection. So I'm going to go to redirections, and so here is the thing that I really want to turn on is the auto post redirect. Again, if you change the slug, it will automatically create this redirect for you. You have to turn this on for that to work. I have messed up with sites and not turned that on correctly, and then it comes, then I have to go ahead and create 200 pages of a redirect. Okay, so titles and meta. Again, you just kind of go through the site and use a lot of common sense. I want to index globally. I want to index everything. I don't want to index empty things. Here's the separator, and you could pick between what you want. Capitalized titles, that's kind of up to you. There's the thumbnail and the Twitter card. This is all just personal choice, except for the whole index thing. Local SEO, this is where you'd fill out the local information just like you would on Google My Business. Social media, same thing. You would fill all of this stuff out. They're literally connecting your Facebook to this, so that's why there's secret app and all of that stuff. Just follow the instructions and you can kind of go through that. Yes, I'm kind of glazing over this just because this can take a long time. It's maybe a whole separate video. The home page, since the home page is a separate page, all of those settings are on the home page. Post formats, I tend to like term separated and site name. I tend to like to do that. The format archives is always no index. I'm sorry. Usually keep this the same because you're not indexing it and nobody cares anyways. No one's going to see it. Authors, same thing. We're going to disable the author entirely. Hit save. That's duplicate content. We don't want that content in there at all. Miscellaneous pages, data archives, disable the entire thing. This is page, when somebody searches for something and the page can't be found, this is what it's going to show. You can type whatever you want in here. Same thing with search results. I don't want to index search results. I don't want to index archive subpages. No index on password protected pages, but I do want to index paginated pages. There. And then go ahead and hit save. Okay, so again, data archives is disabled on purpose. Post. Usually I just keep it at title, separate it, the separation and the site name. Real good SEO, what you want to do is you want to make sure that this isn't automatically set, and then I always tend to leave excerpt. You should do this every single time. You should manually put in the description. I do. It's just something that you normally should do. Schema archetype, article, SEO title. You can just change this to title, post title, and then take this out. Same thing with expert. I tend to like to use that more than SEO description. Again, it should be the same exact thing. Article type is a blog post. If you want to change this from no index, but again, we want to index posts. Link suggestions, it's kind of up to you. Titles are focus keywords, we'll say. Categories, good. Everything else is good, so we just hit save. Okay, and then to pages. Same thing, title of the page, excerpt. I do this, I make it a title, just title's fine. And then this one I change to excerpt. And then again, I'm not changing this from no index, so I'm leaving that. Everything I want to do focus key phrasing, and then hit save changes. Okay, attachments. This is fine. Okay, now you may have a whole bunch of these header templates. I don't care about any of this. I just want to click this box, hit no index. You could turn off link suggestions. You could turn this all off and hit save. And you want to do that with all template pages. Categories. Same thing with categories. I'm not really going to change this too much. However, I'm going to change that to no index because I'm not going to index the category pages. Tags, same thing. No index. See, it's already no index because tags are duplicate monsters. The other item to do, would be go to sitemap settings. And then here is your sitemap. And the reason why I bring this up is just technically there would be another one called post-sitemaps.com, and under Google Search Console in the sitemaps, you could choose to use the parent sitemap, which is this, or you could choose to use the two other ones. I technically don't know which one's better than the other. I've have great success either way. Instead of having multiple sitemaps listed, it just has one. I include images in the sitemap, don't include the featured images, and this is important. I want to ping the search engines every time I add an article. It just tells them to look at the website again. So that's under sitemap. We want posts, we want to include them in the sitemap. Pages, we want to include in the sitemap. Attachments, we can include them in the sitemap. We can't because I'm doing that. This we don't want to include in the sitemap either. Categories we don't want to include, and tags we don't want to include. So pretty straightforward. Okay, 404 monitor. This will give you all of the pages that turn a 404. Now I just did this today, and so those are all the issues with the website currently that we'll go back in and fix. Redirections. When you create and save a page and a redirection is already created, however, obviously none are done, you can go in and create one yourself. Search Console. This will connect directly to Search Console and then give you some information. Again, this is a brand new site. Status and tools. So we're using the correct version. We're not doing the beta option. I'm not doing the auto update. Database and system status and all of that. You can, for example, Yoast block converter. If you were using that, then you can convert blocks, remove transients, flush SEO data. I would only use that if your site's horrible with SEO and this will force you to redo every single page. I don't advise it. I wouldn't delete the redirection rules or clear the 404 log unless you fixed everything. That's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward, easy way to do rank math. And again, I really like it. Usually what you will see is that if you go to, for example, all pages, you'll see this right here. And I'll just pop in and edit a page real quick. Commercial services is probably the wrong page to enter. Building and pressure washing. So normally what I do is I install a plugin called Disable Gutenberg because I hate Gutenberg. Really hate it. So I'm going to do that real quick. And so that plugin is Disable Gutenberg. Type in disable, and guess what? It's #1 because everyone hates Gutenberg. Everyone hates it. Don't use it. It's horrible. Especially if you have Elementor or Divi or another builder. Having another builder on top of it isn't really going to help you at all. So we just go into settings, disable it, and hit save changes. And then now when we go back into pages and all pages, building pressure washing, so we hit edit the page. And so this is the normal look and feel that I like, and the reason why is I just tend to copy and paste some items directly into rank math. So here's rank math and here's the score, 13 out of 100. And the reason why it's 13 out of 100 is because there is no focus key phrase. So we type in builder pressure washing and it magically jumps to 74. Same thing here. Building is what we want to do is we want to take this key phrase and then add it to the description, and then we also want to add some content, and I usually grab the first sentence of the content if there's another sentence, but it just has to be content. So you can't make sure it's not different than the content on the site. And so then again, you're just kind of playing with it. There are too many key phrases, so I'm just going to delete some. And then again, I'm just trying to make it green. I don't like that sentence, so this is just a simple way to grab stuff. So if you don't like the sentence, but you need to have the key phrase here as well. And then, yeah, so I tend to like that sentence a little bit better. Keep the slug the same. This is how it's going to look in the search engine, which is great. You're not in the red here. You're in the red here a little bit, but that's fine. and that's it. So then now you're automatically at 74%. The biggest issue here is that there's light content. And then we hit update, and then this whole entire page is now optimized. So getting Rank Math green can be a little bit difficult. Green starts at 81 out of 100, and getting a post all the way to 100 can be somewhat difficult. You pretty much have to do every single thing that they ask for, and you still might not to be able to get there. Most of the time I shoot for the low green score, which usually equals the top 10 ranking. If you're fighting over a keyword with a high competition, then again, at the same time, you would want to push it to green as much as possible. So there isn't a table of contents, even though it says we're using one. There doesn't need to be, because there's no content on this page. So the issues on this page is that there is no image in the content, and there is no external link, and there is no internal linking. So that would drive the score up, just doing a couple of things like adding a picture over here, linking to another page, and linking to Wikipedia's definition of pressure washing, for example. Those are the best settings and Rank Math. That's kind of how to optimize a page. I really didn't go into a huge amount of detail, because Rank Math's really good at telling you what to do. Add 600 words. Add an image. So all of this stuff is fairly easy to follow, and as you start following them, they will push your score up. So that's how the best settings for Rank Math in 2020, and how to optimize a page very quickly. Have a good day. This is Personal SEO Teaches how to install and set up Rank Math.